yeah, if you think you're going to do it in your own strength, then you know what? Yeah, you can do it.
COVID, it's been helping people move their businesses from offline or brick and mortar to online.
Systems are more important than skills as an entrepreneur today.
It's totally okay to reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Multiple times, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. If you're a coach, speaker, or industry expert, you're in the right place for sales and marketing wisdom and insight to grow your coaching business. Now, here's your host, Income Acceleration Mentor, Wendy Y. Bailey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the show. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey, and I'm excited to introduce you to our guest for this episode. It's because I love Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP, and we're going to talk a lot about how you can tap into NLP to create transformation and success in your own business and life. So Stacey O'Byrne is one of the nation's leading experts in entrepreneurial transformation, evolution, and success. Stacey is an international inspirational speaker. We're going to ask her what that means, who specializes in successology, the science of success. She has authored several best-selling books. Her co-authored book with Jack Canfield was released in February of 2020. And she also has co-authored a book with J. Abrams, which was released in March. So Stacey, I won't go through all of your NLP titles because I want you to tell us more about that. But welcome to the show.
Oh, Wendy Y., thank you so much for having me today. I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, in the process of creating the podcast and identifying guests who would be great, I often get referrals from people who say, you need to meet this person. And that's what happened. And that's how Stacey and I met. I was talking to a potential guest and she said, oh, you need to meet Stacey. And I did, and we connected and clicked right away. And so I'm excited that we have sort of this kindred energy around NLP. Talk to us a little bit about how you came to NLP and what it means for you. And we're talking neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You know, it was a journey. I did what I was supposed to do. I went to school. I got a great education. I got my bachelor's degree in business management at San Diego State. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. So I joined the Army and I traveled all over the world. I've done things that most people wish they never do. And I've seen things most people wish they've never seen. And
as part of the military, right?
Part of the military, yeah. And I have to tell you that the military was one of the best things that had happened to me because it taught me a lot about myself. It also left me with, we'll just lovingly call it baggage. When I got out of the military, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And through my journey of climbing the corporate ladder, I was a sales and operations manager, eventually became a national sales and operations manager. The environment I was in invested an immense amount of money in myself. They were sending me to sales trainings and leadership trainings and communication trainings. And I found myself, you know, dealing with PTSD through the VA and being exposed to what's called exposure therapy, which was a very rough therapy process because there comes a point where you don't know if you're in it or not. And it just wasn't working for me. And I'm in the sales training, and the sales trainer's evoking an immense amount of emotion out of me, and I've never had that happen before. So during break, the sales trainer and I started talking, and he introduced me to this thing called Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and he told me that's why my neurology and my emotions were being triggered. So I started researching it and looking into it, and I started taking classes. I started getting certifications, and I started healing on the inside. And I started learning how to apply these tools externally in business. And my revenue, my income started increasingly exponentially. It was phenomenal. And
it's the epitome of what I say is my personal mantra: mindset is everything.
Yep. I believe success is a very easy formula: 90% mindset, 10% skill set. Very easy. And then for me, I gainfully became unemployed after 9/11. The industry I was in had really tanked. And I kind of jumped off a cliff and became a very reluctant entrepreneur. However, I learned in corporate America it was really important to continue to invest in myself. So I did. I invested in an immense amount of Neuro-Linguistics Programming trainings, certifications, and other trainings as well. And fast forward to, what is this, October 2020, I'm a certified Neuro-Linguistics Programming trainer by 11 different boards. And
it was phenomenal, by the way. When you told me that when we met, I was like, wow, I didn't even know there were that many boards out there.
Yeah, there's hundreds of them. And then I pursued being certified as a master trainer of Neuro-Linguistics Programming, which allows me to train trainers. And I've been certified by 7 certifying boards as a master trainer, which is a 5-year program. And I ran a few of them parallel. And the reason why I did this is because it was such a powerful tool for me. I wanted to pay it forward. And I always knew in my life that I wanted to make a global impact. And I just found the formula on how to do it now.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. I know that we talked and you just shared about the PTSD and how you found yourself wanting to learn more and do more, and how it created transformation for you. You've done a lot of training around NLP, and you're like at the highest levels you can go in the technology. Why was it important for you to actually do that?
So one of my goals in life is to be the best version of myself on a daily basis. And, I remember being very, very young when I got out of the military and I was climbing the corporate ladder. I sat through an event that had Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, and Brian Tracy in it.
Wow, what a room.
Oh man, it was the trifecta of success. And at that time I had an executive coach, and my executive coach had told me what you feed grows and what you starve dies. And I'm in my early 20s and I've got an executive coach. I'm climbing the corporate ladder and I'm sitting at this event, and I bought a VIP ticket because I was also told that you want to surround yourself with successful people because like attracts like.
Yep.
So I follow directions very well. I'm very coachable. I'm sitting and Jim Rohn comes out, stands on the edge of the stage, and he turns around and says, write down what you're going to make this year. So I did. And he goes, now figure out what 30% of that number is. So I did. And he goes, look at that number. That is what you should be investing in yourself annually every year.
I love it.
And that's what I did. And it's kind of funny because at the end, the offer he made was exactly 30% of what I made. And that knew his audience. And, I have lived tried and true with that formula. Every year I invest 30% in myself. And today, owning a 7-figure business, multiple 6-figure businesses, and one of them rolling into 7 figures, it becomes, I'm lovingly going to say, a challenge to invest 30%.
Yeah.
Especially when we're all on lockdown.
Yeah.
However,
you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything, but you know what you can do is private coaching with someone who is charging at that level and can deliver the transformation for you too.
And you know what? That is part of my strategy. I have 7 coaches. I just hired my largest coach ever. I've made the largest investment of my life in coaching, and I've always invested significantly in coaching. This one was big. This was a 6-figure investment, and I'll share who I just hired. I just hired Jay Abrahams. He's Tony Robbins' coach.
Yes.
And
because I thought that's who you were going to say.
Yeah, I actually, ironically, have my first call with him today.
Yes.
Yeah. So why did I invest so heavily in neuro-linguistics programming? In the beginning, it started out on a journey to heal myself. That's really what it started out. And then the deeper I got into it, the more I started hearing neuro-linguistics programming is manipulation. I heard it time and time again, and I couldn't understand it because there was nothing in it that I was learning that was manipulative.
Yeah.
And then one day I was in a training sitting by someone who was learning how to be a trainer, who started speaking words of manipulation. And I looked over and I couldn't figure out how somebody of that caliber could be in a caliber of training like this, speaking like that. And then it made me realize we all have our reality. We all have our model of the world. So that made me realize if that's the case, there's multiple perspectives of this. So I started pursuing multiple perspectives of it. And that's when I realized, wow, there's a lot of different information out here. Some of it's rinsed and repeated, and some of it's delivered completely differently. So that's when I went on this 25-year journey of just inserting myself in complete immersion of knowledge. And it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me because it's allowed me to be immensely valuable to my life, to my family, to my clients, to my prospective clients, to our students. And we train from every area in life. We focus on the yang and we focus on the yin. So this way people can really accomplish work-life harmony, because I don't believe in work-life balance.
Yeah, balance is a misnomer for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
So I realized there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of puff. There is manipulation. There's a lot of good, and prospectively, there's a lot of bad. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
And like any tool in life, it can be used for good or bad. And I just wanted to make sure that I could deliver the most excellent version from my perspective of knowledge.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting to me about what you said, I've seen people do NLP to other people as well. And it really is not that kind of technology.
No.
When you understand it and in your heart, I believe this is true, in your heart, your desire is to help people, then you help people, you don't manipulate. You use your powers for good, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And it's so funny because people come up to me all the time and go, Stacey, will you NLP me? And I'm like, ew, do I need a condom for that? Should we all
Yeah, that makes it pretty clear. Like, NLP you. Yeah, that's not how it works anyway. No. I love the way you said it. Tell me your definition of NLP. Like, I have the very simple Wendy Y definition. My definition is NLP comes in 3 parts. The first part is all about the neuro piece. This is the brain processes all of the information through the 5 senses. And, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and touch also being feelings or, internal connections that it touch. Because of that, language or linguistic says that language has a bigger meaning than just words. It's also smells and taste and sounds and beliefs and attitudes. And then the programming is understanding that, people have a certain way of thinking and being and, perspective of the world, whether it's they hear and that's turned up way high, or they feel and that's turned up way high, then you know how to support them in moving through life with greater effectiveness and success. That's the Wendy Y simple definition, right? So what's your Stacey definition of NLP?
So I'll take it even more simplified. So your definition is beautiful. Absolutely. When somebody asks me what is NLP, my simple answer is NLP is the science and study of human excellence. It really is. It allows us to show up the best version of ourselves. And that's usually the response I get is wow. And then I'll elaborate a little bit more. Think about it. Does life happen to you, or do you make life happen? Do you have reasons or do you have results? How quickly can you build a relationship with someone? When does the itty bitty shitty committee in your head get in your way and prevent you from doing what it is that you know, feel, and understand and believe without a shadow of a doubt should be yours? And if that itty bitty shitty committee gets louder, that voice in your head, the voice that says, I don't have a voice in my head, that's the voice that you get to befriend and build the relationship back with.
Wow. It's so simplistic, but it says volumes. Human excellence is really about managing. I like the way you said it, the itty bitty shitty committee. It's about managing that and knowing when it shows up what to do to address it. That's big. Like, that's really, really big. What's the most valuable lesson you found your learners, let's call them your learners, gained from NLP?
You know, there is so many of them. And if I had to break it down to only one, it is they really do control their life. No one else does.
Stuff is happening to them.
Yeah. When you really step back and look at, I create my results, I create my life. No one can make it or break it for me. It's up to be. It gives a whole new meaning to that adage. If it's going to be, it's up to me. It really does.
Yeah. And I know choice is a huge part of that for you personally.
Yeah. I tell my clients all the time, choice is a powerful thing and suffering is always optional. And I say it very lovingly because it's true.
If you don't want this, choose something different.
Yep, exactly.
So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to do our signature segment. Sound good, Stacey?
Sounds perfect. I look forward to it, Wendy Y.
Okay, awesome.
Before we were working with Penelope, my husband was working way too hard.
I was not satisfied with our investments and what they were doing and my ability to direct them and manage them.
I was in a place of financial upheaval.
I've been studying investing for decades. No matter what I implemented, it didn't work.
For the first time in my 20 years of teaching, we found a way for entrepreneurs from all over the world to attend my Financial Freedom 101 event online and still get to experience the connection, magic, and energy of an in-person event.
Penelope inspired me from the very first moment that I met her.
She just has a way of breaking things down into something I can understand.
She sort of presents her information like bricks. If you do this brick, then you can add another brick, and then you can add another brick, and then pretty soon you've got a structure that's pretty impressive.
I think she's the smartest teacher in the world. She meets you at your level, and then step by step will slowly educate you on what's the next logical step, and you get comfortable with it, and then you can do it.
When I started working with Penelope, I saw results. For the first time, my account's growing.
She's helped me look at all aspects of my life so that I feel comfortable to retire.
I've been looking at the results every single year, and actually my business is at double-digit growth every single year. We went from 7 to 8 figures while she's been working with us.
Not only has our finances changed, but my love life has changed and my relationship has gotten better.
We want to go to Bali and Thailand and Vietnam and really just travel for a while.
And now we have the freedom, the financial freedom to do that.
With all the volatility in the markets right now, and all the uncertainty in the economy and the world in general, financial education is more important than ever.
I would suggest this event to anybody who has stomach-crunching moments when it comes to money.
Anyone who is learning how to invest, who wants to learn about how to make money grow.
I would recommend that somebody work with Penelope if they are really wanting to put their money to work for them instead of just working for their money.
Someone who's looking for practical tools in order to create assets that produce results that allow you to get out of the rat race.
Hey folks, Simon T. Bailey. Have you lost your spark? Is a job just a job? Is a relationship just a relationship? Is a business just a business? Well, I've taken the last couple of years to do some deep diving questions and asking myself, did I ever lose my spark? Yeah, I have. And when I lost my spark, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to quit. But I decided that, guess what? When you find your spark, you find your joy. And when you find your joy, you find your people. And when you find your people, you find your voice. So when you find your voice, you connect with people who get you, you tap into your joy, and you become the spark for everyone around you. So I've put together this book, Be the Spark. I'm so happy to bring this to the marketplace because I believe it will become the guide that will give you the kickstart that will enable you to light it up wherever you go. So if you say, Simon, I've lost the spark at home, in business, in life, and you and your friends are saying, you know what, I really want a prescription that is sustainable. And I believe as I share my stories, my pain of what I went through, that you're going to be equipped with tips, tools, and techniques on how you can be the spark. So listen, go to simontbailey.com, get the book, and remember, I love you and I believe in you, and there's not a darn thing you can do about it.
Hi, I'm Stacey O'Byrne, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, I'm Rashonda Pratt, known online as The Rose Show Live, and you're tuned in to Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure to like, comment, review, subscribe so you'll know when the next conversation goes live.
Hi, I'm Penelope Jane Smith, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversations show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Okay, we're back, and we've been talking with master coach and trainer, NLP extraordinaire expert, Stacey O'Byrne. And now it's time for our Profitable Wisdom segment. So it's 5 questions I ask every single guest. And the first question is, who has had the greatest influence on you in your life?
Wow, that's a phenomenal question. And I've had multiple people have immense influence on me. I'd have to say, outside of the obvious, my mother and father is not so obvious. And that is my great Aunt Reba. She was my great aunt. I just recently lost her about 9 months ago. It was, I'm very blessed. She passed away at 92. I had the honor of flying her out to visit me from Pennsylvania. I flew her first class, got to spend 3 weeks with her. She went back home and then died very quickly after that. And she never knew anything was wrong with her.
Wow. Amazing. I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, thank you. She, growing up, she was a massive influence for me. She was a high-powered executive for Sun Oil, which is now known as Exxon. And she was the purchasing manager for the corporation. So she was the president of the National Association of Purchasing Managers. And this is back in the 70s when women did not hold positions like that.
Apparently there was no mistaking that she needed to lead that organization.
She was a very high-powered professional woman. And I remember when we would walk into events, because she would take me with her. She got my father his first corporate job, and anytime Reba was in the room, my father's entire personality changed. And I just remember thinking how I'll say in air quotes, powerful she was, how dynamic she was. I can label it today as dynamic, but back then it looked like immense power. And men would just bow to her. It was phenomenal. Yet she was so humble and so loving and so heart-centered. And it made me realize, I didn't know then, but today, she was the ideal epitome of the heart-centered, empowered professional leader that everyone deserves to know.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. And I think it says a lot to have that kind of impact. And then you follow suit and create your own kind of experience as that empowered and impactful leader for the people that you support and serve in your life.
Yeah, I was blessed, very, very blessed.
Yeah, she set an amazing example, clearly. So what's the best business advice you've ever received?
Best business advice I ever received was trust yourself. Trust yourself, and the only way you can do that is to develop yourself. So that's what I do. I develop myself so I can always lean on myself to trust myself.
Yeah. Because when you trust yourself, you don't have to worry about who's coming for you. That's the reality, I think.
For me, it's a little different, because I look at environments like this. It really doesn't matter what's going on out there, as long as here can handle it. I can respond to environments instead of react to environments.
Yeah, I totally
and that's what it is for me, because there's really nothing that I believe is impossible. That's just my belief.
Yeah, because you trust you, and because you trust you, you understand that your response, your reactions, your connections with whatever is happening around you will always put you in the greatest possible position.
And because I trust myself, it becomes easier to exercise sensory acuity, to align myself with appropriate people, which makes it easier to trust them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, she's doing some NLP. She's doing some NLP wisdom in that. In case you missed it, that's what that was. Good stuff, Stacey. Good stuff. And what has been your largest single sale amount and circumstances in your business?
Absolutely.
I always like to ask this question because it gives people a perspective of what's possible in their own futures.
So the most successful day that my business has ever had has been $688,000.
Was that across your 7 companies?
No, that was one was one of my businesses. I was at an event and I made an offer, and $688,000 later, it became the most incredible day in our company's history, and I have come very close to hitting it multiple times, and I'm very convinced that I will exceed it, and for the right reasons, because I show up 100% to be of service to people, and all the revenue means for me is that's even more people that I've been able to touch lives.
Yeah, amazing story. Did you do something to celebrate?
Oh, we always celebrate. Life is a celebration.
Yes. Awesome. So, as entrepreneurs, we often get in places where we feel like giving up. I know that you are highly trained and you're skillful and masterful at managing yourself in a way that you may not ever really get to that low space. But what has helped you when you've even come close to feeling like giving up?
So, we're all human, and no matter how well we're trained, developed, and programmed, every second of every minute of every hour of every day is still a choice. And for me, there was that time when I almost did give up completely. And and if I may, I'd like to dig into it a little. There's a part of my story that I don't believe you know. And when I first left corporate America, I got aligned with a man who owned a struggling, failing company. And we actually partnered up, and I turned the company around. It was about $197,000 in debt. It was $185,000 a year company. And within a year and a half, it was making 7 figures. Within 3.5 years, we were making very high 7 figures. And I crushed my hand with a 300-pound box, and I needed 7 surgeries to rebuild it. Through the course of rebuilding it, it took him 3.5 years to do that. He embezzled everything from me. And not only did he embezzle everything from me, he left me with 16 cents in the bank and turned around and sued me the very next day. I don't know if you know our legal system, but first strike clouds the water, second strike is smoke and mirrors. So when he sued me, because he knew I was going to sue him, so he sued me to make my lawsuit look fraudulent.
Sure.
So I had to spend the next 4.5 years in court defending myself from being embezzled from.
Wow.
So it pushed me into bankruptcy, and I almost lost everything I had. I lost most of what I had. We managed to keep our house, and we managed to keep our cars. There came a point where all of this triggered my PTSD. And between feeling betrayed and stabbed in the back, all these internal representations that don't serve us, I found myself buried in legal bills and just barely keeping my head above water. And I just woke up one day and said, what's the point? What is the point? And, you know, my stage story is, you know, I slept like a baby. Every hour on the hour, I woke up bawling. And about 3.5, 4 days later, I realized how suicidal I was. I realized how much I had really given up. And I had to ask myself, what's the purpose of this entire journey? And the answer became very clear. I made the biggest mistake of attaching my self-worth to my net worth.
Mm-hmm.
And that mistake, that mistake, when my net worth became 0, or at that time 16 cents, when my net worth became so low, I lost my self-worth, and that foundation I stood on no longer existed, which allowed me to build a more solid platform. It allowed me to build a more solid faith and trust in myself. And I literally woke up one day, about 4 days later, and said, look, reality is this. If it's going to be, it's up to me. That old adage we talked about earlier.
Sure.
And I went into action, and I ended up building a very, very successful direct sales business very quickly. I started making $20,000 and $30,000 a month in direct sales after about 2.5, 3 months. I had thousands of people coming up to me going, how do you keep doing this? And I really didn't know the answer, because I didn't know what I didn't know. And that was, most people didn't know what I knew. And then
you could show them and you could guide them, but you didn't believe it. You didn't step into it right away, it sounds like.
Yeah, no, I never pursued Neuro-Linguistics Programming from the foundation to train it. I just pursued it to learn how to be a better human, help fix myself, I say in air quotes, right? Because I don't think anybody's ever broken.
Yeah.
I did it to be a better salesperson, a better leader, a better communicator. Never did it to train.
Yeah, you did it to step into your own excellence.
Exactly. So the advice that I have to give people is this: never ask why, because why sends us backwards. Why has us look at the drama and the trauma. It is really important to ask yourself, what is the purpose of what I'm going through? When you identify the purpose, you can then see it so that you can learn from it. When you learn from it, you can then fix it and move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Love it. There's so much about that I relate to, that totally resonates with me. And, you know, rather than go into a long story, let me just say that has been my ongoing philosophy when I've been in that space, that dark space, and living and thriving with major depressive disorder, which is similar to the PTSD. A lot of the same kind of things happen internally for you. Has taught me how to look up and say, what's the purpose? And then start stepping toward whatever that purpose is. Perfect example.
I love
it. What has been your greatest personal accomplishment outside of your business?
My kids. You know, I have a 32-year-old daughter who is my stepdaughter, and I have a 20-year-old. She just turned 20. I have a 20-year-old daughter who is my child, and the two of them have just evolved into the most incredible, heart-centered, loving, dynamic women. They are just contributing humans to society who really, really care. Our one daughter,
that's what makes the difference, isn't it?
It's phenomenal. You know, our one daughter, our 32-year-old, really wanted to help people, so she became a nurse. Our 20-year-old really wanted to help people, so she's becoming an entrepreneur.
Nice.
And, so I look at them and they're just mini me's. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. My 30-year-old son is the apple of my eye as well. And I was in a conversation with a guest on an episode that aired actually this week that I watched. And what I said is, when I see my son, I look at him in his ability to be kind and compassionate and thoughtful and considerate. And that's really important to me more than anything else going on. And when I see him in those moments, in my mind, I go, I did that.
Nice.
I did that. Yeah. So I totally get it. So we'll be right back after this message to share Stacey's parting thoughts, and she's got a gift for everyone. Be right back. One of the benefits of being in my business for more than 18 years is, as I've grown to serve my ideal clients more fully, I've also amassed a lot of really amazing content to support them. I decided a couple of years ago that I would create More Coaching Client Sales and Marketing Academy. And it's designed to help in 3 key areas of focus and discovery: mindset, marketing, and sales. Mindset is everything. That is my personal mantra. And as my personal mantra, what I try to do is elevate the mind of my clients so that you can get bigger, bolder, better, everything in your business. It means greater clients. It means you're able to step into sales in a big way. It also means that you can market and promote yourself because you understand the value you're bringing to the marketplace. Marketing is part of that promotion that you do. It's making sure that you are on the right platforms, and being on the right platforms, you can successfully attract your most ideal clients and serve them fully. Sales means that you actually learn what it means to step into that sales conversation and walk your clients down the path of enrolling in working with you. I love More Coaching Client Sales and Marketing Academy, not just because of these 3 key areas, but there's a lot of nuts and bolts there as well. I give live training once a month. They're monthly one-on-one office hours. That means I get to coach you as a member of the Academy. There are video replays, there are discussion forum, there's a program concierge who's managing the content and making sure if you have any questions, you get them addressed. If you have any problems or hiccups, there's someone there to support you. There's a ton of recommended tools and resources as well. And because this is just one of the many offerings I have, I also offer you savings opportunities to connect with me in other ways. Don't just take what I say. Join the Academy so that you can create high-value, high-dollar programs. You can sell high-dollar services and programs with grace and ease. Build relationships with more of your most ideal clients. Create lead magnets that attract more of your most ideal clients. Develop your unique and authentic selling strategy. Gain more visibility for your program, services, and products. Become a marketplace influencer on the right platforms. Accelerate your income quickly and strategically. And create consistent monthly income of $10,000 or more. It's designed to accelerate your income. Don't take my word for it. What Academy members say, like Sharita Sparrow, therapeutic arts master of the Feathers Touch, she says, once upon a time, I struggled in my business when it came to increasing my rates. I felt uncomfortable charging the true value for my therapeutic art services. After working with Wendy Y, I instantly doubled my income. She showed me how to reframe my approach to charging what I deserve, no more shortchanging myself. Not just Sharita, there's also Rebecca. Rebecca said, I would be happy to speak to anyone considering Wendy Y's services. My investment in working with her saw a financial return of 200%, along with additional coaching and speaking opportunities. All I can say is thank you, Wendy Y. Thank you, Rebecca. And then there is Wilma. Wilma says, working with Wendy Y is a great fit for me. I feel that I'm in partnership with a coach who is helping me achieve my business goals. Wendy Y's suggestions are on the money, and I'm learning so much. I now have a new way to acquire customers who are willing to work with me and are excited about positive change. Wendy Y, you are the one for me. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Wilma. And then finally, there is Kenneth. Kenneth says, Wendy Y is such a professional coach and transformational expert. She always knows exactly what to say or do to make sure that I stay on track with my business. She knows if I need a marketing strategy, a better technique, or a mindset shift. All of it weighs in, and I appreciate having you as a member, Kenneth. So let me just say to you, I'm looking for an elite group of members for the Academy at this point. And because it's such an elite group, I've got an elite number for you. For the first 100 members, and I'm ticking them off, there are less than 100 spots available now, you can become a member at More Coaching Client Sales and Marketing Academy for $88.88 per month. That's all it is. You get all of what I've described for $88.88. 8 is a number for abundance, and I'm so excited to extend this special opportunity for the first 100 elite members of More Coaching Client Sales and Marketing Academy to you. Go to morecoachingclients.com and enroll today.
Hi, I am Marquessa Petway, and you're tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Like, comment, review, and subscribe now so you're notified when the next episode goes live.
Hi, my name is Ann Betts, and you're tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Please comment, like, review, and subscribe now so you know when the next episode is live.
Hey, I am Lisa Santiago McNeil, and you are tuned in to the Profitable Coaching Conversations Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. Make sure that you like, comment, review, and subscribe so that you're notified when the next episode goes live. See you later.
So welcome back. We've had a delightful conversation with Stacey O'Byrne, and it's taken a lot of really cool twists and turns that I think have truly added value to your place in as an audience, as a watcher, as a listener. And so Stacey, because we've had such a yummy conversation, what is the one nugget that you really want people to walk away from this conversation knowing and hearing and believing as part of their own experience?
Absolutely. Success starts with you. And the only way that you can seize it is to master your mindset. Get out of your way so that you can have your way.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Love it. And you have a gift that you'd like to share. Tell us what it is, and we'll share the link in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a podcast called Sell Without Selling. The podcast is about mindset. It's about inspiration. It's about taking action. It's about being productive, leadership, communication, sales, success. I have incredible guests on there like Wendy Y herself. And I'd love to invite you to absolutely download and share, and please review the episodes. We've got some phenomenal guests on there. I just recently interviewed Bob Berg, who is the author of The Go-Giver. I've just got some phenomenal guests. I also do a solo show once a week. So I'd love for you to listen to that. And if you'd like to interact, to join our Facebook community. It's called the Sell Without Selling Facebook community. I'm sorry, the Sell Without Selling community. And there's an immense amount of interaction in that group, and I pop in it all the time, and I'd love to get to know you and connect with you.
Awesome. Awesome. Stacey, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom and insight. As I said before we started the recording, I'm excited because I know we're going to be doing more together.
Absolutely, Wendy Y. I'm excited too. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I had a great time.
Awesome. 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 We'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into Profitable Coaching Conversations with Wendy Y. Bailey. Be sure to join us at the after party at www.profitablecoachingsociety.com. We'll see you next time for more sales and marketing wisdom and insight from Wendy Y. and her amazing guests. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you know when new episodes are posted.